Hey guys, what's up? This is Ed here, and so I wanted to talk about the last two games for the Warriors, the Pacers, and the Nuggets. And let's talk about why they lost, what they should do against the Lakers, and what really needs to happen throughout this whole season. So let's start off with against the Pacers, in which they had like a complete fourth quarter meltdown. They shot like 25% from the field or something like that, couldn't get a basket to save their life. And then it doesn't help that a sub 30% 3 point shooters in Aaron Holiday and Miles Turner make the threes when it matters the most to really give them the lead. And then the lack of shot making really hurts them in the long run too, because Steph cannot take all of your shots. He cannot make all of the shots either. It needs to be, and everyone needs to contribute in their own way. Oubre kind of broke out in the first half. I thought he was going to have a really big game, but then it turns out he wasn't going to have one. Wiggins was solid for the most part, offensively and defensively. And I feel like this is the game where we would have seen James Wiseman's impact. Not necessarily offensively, but he would have been able to match the length and toughness of Miles Turner. And whenever he was in the game, the Warriors were usually winning it. But obviously, him picking up four fouls in the first half, he kind of needed to realize that I can be physical, but I need to also see how much I'm fouling him, because because he picked up his like what fifth foul in the third quarter, and he couldn't be aggressive anymore, and that's when Steve Kerr took him out, and I kind of was not really pleased to see that he took him out when I think he could have won the game, and especially in the later few moments, but he took him out, and then the whole collapse happened where Sabonis and Miles Turner kept on going to the rim, kept on getting easy layups and dunks, and Looney couldn't do anything about that. As great of as good of a defender Looney is, he's really undersized. He's more of an undersized five than a regular five would be. This is a game where we also missed Eric Pascal's impact. Where he would get us a bucket when the Warriors needed it the most. And it overall it wasn't a good game. Steph was struggling. He even missed what, two free throws? Let me see right here. Yeah, two free throws. When you're a good defense, like I've said before, when you make Steph miss free throws. Draymond, obviously, I know he's not going to take a lot of shots, but he needs to start taking some shots, because him being reluctant to shoot and Kelly Oubre being reluctant to shoot, that is a bad combination right there. We need Draymond to start driving inside at least, or start making the mid-range shots, because it's really having a terrible effect on the Warriors as it is. And then when you can't make shots, it kind of takes a toll on your defense, because it's like, how many times am I going to play defense until I start getting my shots to go? So that kind of happened. Same thing against the Nuggets. So Steph had it going. He had 35 points and 11 boards, but he also had 7 turnovers. And then Draymond, who took only two shots for some reason and had only 1 point, he looked reluctant to shoot. He's kind of like the reason the he basically holds the Warriors' fate in his own hand. If he starts shooting a little bit more, I think it opens up a lot of the offense. Doesn't I don't care if he misses a lot of shots. I want him to shoot a lot and drive to the rim and get fouled and get layups, because that just opens up a lot of the offense. We did not sign Kelly Oubre to be Klay Thompson. We signed him to be Kelly Oubre. And the first game, it kind of seemed like he was going to be aggressive, but then against the Nuggets, for some reason, he stopped being aggressive. And as Reggie Miller kept on pointing it out, he does not need to be that Klay Thompson role. He needs to attack the rim, slash, attack, dunk it on other people, you know, um, whip your hair in front of them. Like that's a mentality that he needs to have right there, and he just didn't have that. Let me talk about a few other players here. Let's talk about the bench as a whole. It was non-existent. I know, like for some part of the game, they were looking like they were gonna come back, but let's be honest, they were kind of non-existent, including Eric Pascal, who for some reason just couldn't make a shot. Looney struggled. Ken Bazemore struggled. Everyone struggled. Um, and I thought Damian Lee would go off a little bit, and he did not do that. So it's kind of frustrating to see the lack of aggressiveness that the Warriors have, and then you cap it off with the Denver bench, who had three people going for 10 or more, including Jamichael Green, who had 15. It's kind of saddening to see that no one is willing to take the shots. Jokic only had four shot attempts in the first half, and the Warriors should have been in control in that first half. They looked a step slow everywhere. They didn't communicate at all, and it just looked like a hot pile of mess. Now, I believe Steph was a minus 21, and a lot of it was the five that was on the court. No one's communicating on defense. You're leaving 3-point shooters open for three. You're missing layups on your own end, and it's a bad combination right there. Every time the Warriors made a run, Nuggets had a response to it. So it's terrible. Um, and if Draymond's at least not scoring, he should have a defensive impact, right? Nope. Only one steal, and he looked out of sorts too. I didn't think that Wiseman was going to was. I like when I looked at the box score, I was surprised to see that Wiseman had 18 points because it seemed like he only had six. And this is going to hurt the Warriors in the long run, and this has hurt the Warriors even in the finals, in the 2019 NBA Finals, where the lack of shot taking really put a lot of pressure on the shooters on the team, Steph and Clay and KD, right? The lack of aggressiveness that really hurt the Warriors as a whole. Against the Lakers, they cannot and they have to be aggressive, even if it means that their shots are going to get blocked, even if it means that they're going to miss. They have to be aggressive. Okay, and the second thing, don't turn the ball over. You give them one free trip to the rim, and that's it. You're basically saying, go ahead, win this game, Lakers. Third thing, you need to be on the same page defensively. LeBron will still make shots. AD will still make shots. Everyone will still make shots. But that's not the point. The point that I'm trying to say is, can they make the shots in the longer run when you're putting two or three guys on everyone? They're as deep as a team as I can ever think of. And what I'm trying to think, what I'm trying to say is, or what I'm trying to say is that they have a good player in every position. Where Schroeder is a good slasher slash passer. LeBron is LeBron. AD is AD. Marc Gasol is a really good passer. Alex Caruso, Montrezl Harrell. Everyone has their own specified role on that team, and that's fine. When you're coming into the game, attack the rim, but don't recklessly attack. Just be confident and take the shots that you have. If I'm Wiseman, I need to recognize who I'm guarding. I know that Anthony Davis is a handful to guard, but he also gets a lot of free throws, and that is because he looks for an opportunity to swing his arm by or something like that. So put your hands like this and guard with your chest, basically, right here. That's what I think that should happen. And he needs to be aggressive too. I know AD that's going to be guarding you. It's going to be Marcus All that's going to guard you. But for some part, he needs to start being aggressive on his own, where Steph and the others would not be able to get their shots. Now he needs to start looking for his own shot. Damian Lee needs to have an impact off the bench. Just spot up, hit threes, do your thing. Pascal needs to do the same. Looney, man, I'm starting to lose a little bit of hope on him. I've always said that he's a good defender, but he's I think he's trying really hard, but it's just tough to guard a 7 footer. Draymond needs to start being aggressive. Steph cannot have an off night. Wiggins and Oubre need to do well defensively and offensively. And you just need to have you also need to do a lot of praying that the Lakers miss a lot of shots. Now that's it for this video. Let's see what happens against the Lakers. Go ahead and share and go ahead and share my videos with others. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel. Click the notifications the bell, and comment down below your thoughts about this. Until then, see you next time.